Thanks for tuning in. Peace and blessings, and welcome to Team Angie. I'm team member Aaron Glenn, private personal consultant. Also, I advocate for mental health awareness. On my channel, I like to put out positive vibes on my page, YouTube, my channel, Team Angie LLC, Aaron Glenn on Facebook. Also, you can check me out on Facebook. My business account is Team Angie LLC. Everything that you need to know about mental health, things to make you feel good. It's all about positive vibes, inspiration, motivation. That's what I do on my channel, and that's what I like to put on my page. I have a subscription page. You can subscribe for exclusive content. It's all about do-it-yourself projects, recipes, arts and craft, different little things you can do to start new traditions. It's all about mental health, ways to celebrate yourself, ways to manage stress and anxiety. Also, I created a blog exactly for that. You can grab your free blueprint copy down below. If you're looking for live mentorship as far as tips and tools to manage stress and anxiety, I have that for you through my blog. And for those of you who are looking to create passive income, who are looking to have multiple streams of income, creating your own creative stream of income, being your own boss, earn while you learn, live mentorship. I have a program for you guys. It's called the Legacy Builder Program. For you guys looking to start your own online business, looking to make passive income online through digital marketing, I have Master Resale Right products, which are e-courses, educational courses that teaches you high income earning skills, teaches you how to launch and profit in 7 days. And yeah, it's a really wonderful program. We meet twice a week for mindset and also for tech skills. So you don't have to be tech savvy to learn how to create content or become a content creator and or to create digital products. This link below, if you click it, you simply just put your email in and then you check your email for two emails, which is the newsletter and also the blueprint. The blueprint to get started on your own online business. Also, with this website below, if you scroll down just a little bit under the part where you put your email in, that link there is my digital products that I've created, which are NFTs and digital art. If you guys are into art, you're into stickers, t-shirts, pillowcases, mugs, coffee mugs, posters, pictures. You can do all the above with my art that I have available for you all. I have a nice catalog. I think like 82 different pieces of art, digital art. And as far as NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which you can purchase through crypto. And I teach you guys how to get free crypto, free $5 worth of stocks. The ways that I invest, I just manage and maintain my investments, and I have multiple streams of investments and incomes. So yeah, that's what I do. I have an automated business, meaning I have digital real estate. My portfolio speaks for itself. It works for itself 24 hours a day. I make content, I post the content, and I let it do what it's supposed to do. And therefore, I don't have to be present for people to buy and purchase my products and services. That's what the power of automation is about. While my business is working for me, I'm working on other things. But nevertheless, happy new month of December. Today is December the 1st, 2025. And yes, indeed, I do have a positive word for today, a positive message for the month. But first, I will get into the positive message of the month of December, and then we'll get into the positive message for the day, the first day of December 2025. And this month topic is about for us a child is born, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And this message comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6. For the month of December, a prince was born. Wonderful Counselor, someone that who understands us, who's been in our position, and who cares more for us than sometimes we care for ourselves, who is Christ Jesus, the Messiah, the Holy One. I love you with an everlasting love, which flows out from the depths of eternity. Before you were born, I knew you. Ponder the awesome mystery of a love that encompasses you before birth to beyond the grave. Modern man has lost the perspective of eternity, so focused on the here and now, to distract himself from the grappling jaws of death. He engages in ceaseless activity and amusement. The practice of being still in my presence is almost a lost art. Yet, it is this very stillness that enables you to experience my eternal love. You need the certainty of my loving presence in order to weather the storms of life. During times of severe testing, even the best theology can fail you if it isn't accompanied by my experiential knowledge of me. Reminds me of the book of Noah when the flood was coming and those giants tried to be so arrogant and cocky and self sufficient that they were building without the master carpenter, and their building, their creation was destroyed with the rest of the world and the rest of the corrupt things that was going on in the world. People, places, and things were all destroyed because they were building without the protection of the Lord, his experience, and his expertise. The ultimate protection against sinking during life storms is devoting time to develop your friendship with me. And that is the reading of today, inspired by the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 3. And last but never the least, the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 22 through 26. Let this be an inspiration for the readers, the hearers, and the doers of his word. Develop your friendship with me. This is an actionable situation. This is a action taking step. To know Christ is to have a personal relationship with Christ. So many people are church hurt because they rely on a pastor, they rely on an evangelist, they rely on other sources to get to know themselves. Spending Spending time alone is difficult. For those of you who are running from yourselves, I encourage you to spend at least 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, as much as you can, up to at least 1 hour, up to 30 minutes or whatever, right? Just getting to know yourself. Start running from those thoughts in your mind. Start running from your mistakes. Start running from your inadequacy. Start running from incompetence. You may fail, but that isn't final. This video topic and title is about the middle way. For those of you who do spend time with yourself, this is the way that you enhance your spiritual gifts. For those of you who do have. For those of you who experience things that are unnatural, hard to explain, this is the middle way. These are spiritual gifts that some people have that aren't aware of, that aren't surely of how to, develop these skills or enhance them or protect them or whatever, right? And what I mean by this is like some people, they have different words for these things, which in the Bible, and from the worldly terms, you have prophets, you have seers, which are people who basically have intuition, they can feel, see, and they have certain insights, knowledge, right? Then you have all type of spiritual powers, where people can heal, um, cast out demons, whatever, right? For me, I'm not sure when my spiritual gifts came along, but it's like I'm in the middle of the flesh, in the middle of the spirit realm. Sometimes I can feel things around me and like see little glimpses of shadow. It seems like if my eyes don't really have clearness on them, like if it's a glare on my cornea, right, on my eyeball, but that's not the case. It's just sudden little things that slip by, and sudden little things that be moving, whether it's light or dark or whatever, right? But I feel it and I see it from time to time. It's just like a glimpse or whatever, like And I'm not crazy. I don't dismiss it as just my eyeballs are clearing themselves out from whatever is on top. It's not that. It's really just me having my spiritual awareness open and just being able to discern what's going on. I have really high discernment. I have really deep empathic emotions and feelings, right? I can feel deeply, whether it's spiritual or physical, and I thank God for these gifts, because sometimes you're in unholy places and sometimes you are, and sometimes God speaks to you and he's trying to speak to you to let you know, like, you're not equipped to fight this battle. Stay where you are while we clear a path for you, right? And this is how some people go out and having discernment and they run straight into harm's way. They're not equipped to handle these battles out in the field, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, whatever, right? These videos I want to show you are basically examples of what's going on in the world for people who are tapped into their spiritual gifts and the way that they use these things. Whether you call on your ancestors, whether you use crystals, rubies, whatever, right? You have a certain type of knowledge of how to tap into the spiritual world. And just in a warning and an awareness, certain things that you practice with and play with, it come with certain things. Um, with this being the holiday season, Christmas, some people celebrate Christmas, some people celebrate Krampus. I'm new to that term for the past couple of years. I've been hearing about it, learning about it, whatever, right? But certain things that we do, whether you're conscious or unconscious about what's going on, you're participating willingly or unwillingly, we're using energy to provoke these spirits to have uh, an event to happen, right? And if you're kind of lost on what I'm saying, it's kind of like this. If you ever been in a church and they say it's prayer time or we're going to open the doors and they're provoking the Holy Spirit to move through people, to get them saved, to speak to them, to whatever, right? The Holy Spirit isn't here working on people, saving people, doing his will. That's the whole objective of us worshiping, singing praises, and whatever else we do to provoke the Holy Spirit to come in his place. The whole objective is to save souls, to guide people to his kingdom, right? And so those people can help do the same thing and save other souls, use their spiritual gifts to provoke the Holy Spirit to um, act on their behalf, right? So check this out what people are doing with different spirits, different holidays, and different occasions, and how do they slip into your life and your home and your family. And yeah, just check this out and let me know what you guys think about this world and the way that they use energy and the way that they provoke spirits and for what reasons they do these things. Now, these are thoughtful gifts that were cursed. Curses. Oh, that sounds funny. That sounds fake, right? The same way you use your tongue to bless people, you can use your tongue to curse people. And this is very, very powerful. The power of the tongue. God created the world with words, using his tongue to form these words. Um, the power of the tongue. Agreements. You guys got to be careful what you're agreeing to. Got to be careful what you're out there picking up. Kind of lost my train of thought, but check this out and check out certain items that people use, certain strategies that they use to provoke you to drain energy and use that energy for another purpose. Um, with this being a holiday season, what's really important is the reason for the season. We all know that Christ come, and this is supposed to be about Jesus' birthday, whether he was born now or on April. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter to remain is that Christ was born, and everybody across the world who celebrates this holiday recognizes that Christ did come to the world, whether he died and went to hell, like the Muslims say, or whatever, right? The fact remains that this person came and he completed a mission, whether people like it or not. And that's what the world slowly but surely likes to take our mind off of by putting us in consumerism. Let's go buy this, let's go buy that. You don't have possession of this, that whole competition spirit, that whole energy of ungratefulness. You don't have enough, you don't whatever, right? The vibes of this time. People focus on so many material things that they lose sight on what this is really about. True salvation, right? Being truly free. I started watching a show last night called The Collector. And what this was about was this monk. Let me get right back to this in a bit. This monk, right? These are subliminal, but nevertheless, this is what we've been talking about. Self-discipline with sex, with drugs, with whatever, right? These things that you can use as a tool and the power tool to manifest and to put energy into things that you really truly desire, right? Some people are lusting after the flesh because they have no sexual discipline. That's why they get wrapped up with these succubus. They get wrapped up with AIDS. They get wrapped up with all these type of situations that are unhealthy from an unhealthy discipline. I mean, from a lack of discipline, right? And the vice versa. The people that use it the right way, they pour good energy into each other, and they both manifest and create better things in life. They go use that energy and they do better. They don't be drained and looking for the next person to drain. Whatever, right? And these are also the people who gonna go ahead and take action because they're not um, weighed down their energy and giving it up to procrastination. Procrastination comes from you using your energy the wrong way, and now you have no energy to pursue the things that you truly desire. But anyway, right? Back to the collector, this monk, he didn't have any self discipline. It don't matter how long you practice something, it's about keeping that practice. Protecting your mind is why I advocate for mental health awareness because to me, success is 90% mindset, 10% skills that you can apply to yourself. For 2 years, he was practicing a skill that wasn't really fully accomplished, right? The marathon continues. His marathon was cut short because of his desires and his lack of discipline. He ended up getting with this chick, right? And when you do, like I was just saying about the power of the tongue, the middle way, you pray to God for certain things, you're in agreement with God. And you have to fulfill your end of the bargain, right? Just like if you be like, Lord, I dedicate my life to you. Just like the Lord comes to us. He don't make us show our value. Once we accept Christ, he marries us right then and there, and we become a union. He don't be like, all right, let me see what you could do for me, and then you're valuable. All right, we could become a union, right? That's not the same way with Christ. He marries us, meaning he loves us as we are. If we come to him, and he claims us as his. And with that being said, these monks do the same thing. They make vows to God that they're going to be disciplined, that they're going to stay in the middle way and use this middle way to enlighten others. I was once practicing Buddhism, so I know a little bit about this. I practice a lot of religions, but I am Christian or semi-Christian, so to say. I'm a spiritual person, and I do spiritual things, right? Whether it's Christian, Muslim, whatever. But I now have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and I know how to connect to Jesus Christ. And with that being said, faith without works is dead. You know, I have spiritual protection, and there are things you have to do, not just pray and wait on God. You have to actually do some of the work. Some of the work is odd, some of the work is strange, but when you have that discernment, God will tell you what to do and how to do it. Whether people understand what you're doing and how you're doing it or not, it doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the collector, right? He made a vow with God that he would be disciplined and he would move this way. Long story short, he was lusting after a chick. She was lusting after him. They made it. They made it. they clapped or whatever, right? However you want to say it for entertainment purposes. I don't know what I can and cannot say. Everybody should be grown and know what I'm talking about. They had sex, and right after that, she got the bumps, the measles, the whatever, right? She got sick and died. And before she died, he was cursing God like, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." God was like, "Well, you made a promise to me, you broke your promise, so this is what you're going to deal with, consequences." And for him running away from his consequences, he was like, "What can I do to take away this situation?" And the devil was like, "I got you." The same way it comes to all of us. You know, when you want something so bad, you're willing to sacrifice certain things. Some people are, some people not. This is the difference between having free will. You can decide to be patient. You can decide to exercise certain strengths and disciplines, or you could throw it out the window and go for your instant success, instant gratification. And this is the route that he took. And in turn from him agreeing to this situation, the devil was like, "All right, I'm gonna see what I could do with her, whatever." Woo, woo, woo. But in turn, I need your soul. And he was like, "That's cool, but how about I just go collect souls for you? And whenever I'm done with this, then you can have my soul and I'll take my turn in hell, right? I'll be in my place." So this was a deal that he got. The devil was like, "All right, bet, go ahead, because I'm tired anyway. Go ahead, collect the souls that's coming to me, and therefore you could continuously live and do whatever until you decide differently. Then you're gonna sit in hell with the places that the people that you coming to get." Long story short, he was cool with that. Um, something happened to the girl. She ended up dying again. Well, not she didn't die again, but she was sick. She was cool for a bit, then she ended up dying. And then the devil was like, "Cool, it's time to go ahead and handle that function." Long story short, he met this one guy. He was a rapper or whatever, and he came to him. You get 24 hours. When he comes to you, he like, in 24 hours, I'm finna come collect your soul. You finna go to hell, whatever. He be on the phone with the devil. He'd be like, and what's crazy about this is a TV show that came out 2004, which I don't know every show that come out and when it come out because I don't care for it. But signs and symbols for the conscious mind. When you spend time in discernment, it's no coincidence you would stroll and find certain kind of content or certain type of music, certain type of movies. And why I say that is to say this: like, I wasn't looking for this TV show, but the way that my mind is set up and the way that I'm moving in my direction in my marathon, this come to me, and it kind of confirms on the middle way of the way that I live. Right? I kind of relate to this monk, this guy, because whenever he's going about a regular day, then all of a sudden, something appears. The devil will come, and everybody is regular people, but you can see them as spirits. You can see other spirits around, and it's like, wow, and he'll be right there. Sometimes he come as the cab driver. He'll come as a little girl. He'll come as whoever, whatever, however, just to let you know, like, I got somebody for you to go get. Or he'll be like, you starting to have feelings. Or he'll be like, my whole purpose and goal is to be the opposite of what God is. He's like, do I like this? No, but it's my role. He's like, I'm misunderstood, and he basically like keep them like that. He was like, I'm a good guy. I could be good, and for that, the dude was like, all right, back to the rapper, right? He was like, what can I do about this guy? He's like, since you care about him, if you could convince him to, save himself, I'll let him save himself. Meaning, he had to put in redemption for his sins. What he did was 10 years ago, the rapper I'm talking about, who was gonna go to hell within 24 hours. 10 years ago, he had a baby. He left the girl to take care of the baby by herself. He ended up being a rapper or whatever. And long story short, he knew what he had to do to make right for what he made wrong those 10 years of making up, right? This was the way he was supposed to redeem himself. Go see this child and tell this child that I haven't been here, but I want to be here, and I want to make things right for the absence that I've been. But instead, he went to the house. He seen the little girl. He froze up. He didn't do it. He left. Go back to the devil dude, telling him like, "Man, I tried it, but it didn't work." And at the same time, this monk that I was telling you about, he's still in the flesh, and he find this little drug addict female, or whatever. This is in the meantime, he doing his own thing, and the rapper dude doing his own thing because he got his time to repent and do what he's supposed to do while this guy is waiting to collect his soul. But in the meantime, this guy is living his own life as well. And in the meantime, what he is doing is playing Superman to a junkie female, and this is what it is, right? She's a shooter up, and she was strung out on AIDS. So he find her one day in the alleyway. Her pimp or whoever this guy was, he basically trying to get her up because she sleep against the wall on the ground. And he like, you got to get out here and get to work because you sleeping on my time right now. Then dude come over there, the monk. He like, hey, go away from her, leave her alone, type this. He pick her up, take her to the hospital. They like, this girl got full blown AIDS. I'm surprised she made it this long on the streets. And while he's in the hospital trying to figure out that situation, here comes the rapper. He like, is she dying? Is she dead? And then this is when he told the monk dude, he was like, I know what I was supposed to do to save myself, but I couldn't do it. He was like, is there anything else I can do? Can I do one more good thing before I die? Can I take what this girl got and give her a second chance at least? And the devil was like, cool, I got you. Because he asked him, the monk asked the devil, he was like, can that happen? He was like, yeah. So it happened, right? The girl got healed miraculously. The dude died the next day. And the devil came to him after all this was over with. The monk was back at his house, and the devil came and the little girl. He was like, she's healed. Your friend's feeling better now. And then he was like, they ain't had much to say. He was like, you still owe me a soul. Go get that rapper boy. And then he was like, it went off. With that being said, right, he was telling them, he was like, I made a deal with the devil as well, but mine is a little special. He was like, well, if you can't help nobody, then the hell with you too. And that's what got him to ask the devil, like, can I get him a little chance? Can I redo my mission? Can my mission be slightly different? And he was like, if you can. And he was like, I love a challenge. It's been years, decades since I had a challenge. Go ahead. And then a regular guy just like us walking around, but at any given time he's seeing spiritual things in this physical world. And it's like that with some people who walk that middle way. At any given time you will have spiritual experiences, not really knowing that you're walking through the spirit realm and the flesh at the same time. And for some people that scares them. Some people see ghosts, some people see demons, some people have night terrors, some people have all type of spiritual experiences that they run from because they don't have faith in the power of Christ. These things are frightening a lot of people, and it's not a easy situation, right? To be living in the middle way, to know that you are a spirit in the flesh, and that these things coincide and they are happening simultaneously at the same time. Um, why did I bring this up? Because you'd be surprised who make it to hell. A lot of people say that they died and came back, and you can hear the stories. Check them out on YouTube. That doesn't fear me at all. This is not a fear mongering thing. It's just an awareness video to let you know that the spirit is working constantly, overtime, all the time. They are very, very patient in what they set out to achieve. And anybody who's drifting, who doesn't be aware of what's going on, who don't really care to think for themselves or just run with the crowd, be like the crowd, conform to the crowd is drifting away. And the devil loves that. He was like, why? When he picked up the monk was like, why you in the cab? He was like, you'd be surprised how many people tell their hopes and dreams and just get the blabbing on and off, and I easily convince them to come my route, and I collect so many souls in the cab. He's like, but I'm glad I got you now. I ain't got to work as hard. Pick up the next person to go get. This person should be a challenge because you want to save people. Woo, 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 right? But yeah, it's an interesting. I just saw my second episode of The Collector. It's kind of demonic when you really look at it. But if you don't have any spiritual protection, you will look at this stuff, be entertained, and miss the messages. But check this out, though. We're gonna really finally get into it about these things that they use, especially around these type of times of year. Also for Halloween and Thanksgiving, these different tactics that they use to get you to drift off and to be.
I am 58 years old, or 23 years. I have lived in the... I walked into a room where 7 gifts were lined up as if they were part of a festive ceremony. But not something so heavy that even I, with over 2 decades in the occult, had control nausea. The one response to all this was a bitch I had known for years, and that night, she showed me a list of recipients that I will never forget. Mothers, pastors, children, ordinary...
I'm gonna try. So, right, being in the middle way, and I could remember this like yesterday. I met something that wasn't really human, I believe. Like I was saying, these signs and symbols that come to the mind, the things that attract you when you're on your journey, your marathon of spiritual enlightenment or whatever, right? And as a black person, I will expose it. Um, in our house, we talk about different stuff as far as being racist, right? Different races and how they treat us and how we look to them, whatever, right? I know you heard about the original Jews or whatever, right? These black guys who be out here saying they're the Jews. Even with Islam, certain different guys that's my color, they be like, the white man's the devil and he do this, he do that, whatever, right? We all know this, or we've all heard this, that this is how some black people think and some black people feel. And with that being said, and with that being in mind, I said it to say this. I always heard these things, but I never look at white folks like they're the enemy. I never look at any race like they're the enemy. I look at it as like we're all human beings and we all have a choice. And if you choose to follow the darkness, then that's what you are going to become. And then vice versa, right? So it's no skin color or anything, it's your personal choice. But anyway, right? I was in my studies and I was realizing that certain spirits only want you to drink, do drugs, and provoke your I mean um pervert your mind and basically taint your mind, making it toxic, right? So we chilling, smoking, whatever, right? And all of a sudden these intrusive thoughts come to my mind. They're like, this dude's that we off the dabs, we off the weed, and we got some drinks, but at this point I'm blowed off the dabs. I'm like, man, I'm too high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody should be straight. But the buddy's still like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. And in my mind, it just the thoughts came instantly, like the Holy Spirit filled me, right? It's like this guy is one of those demons who's trying to pervert our minds and fill us with drugs. And I was just watching demons that does these things, right? Doing research, and then the next day here goes it in the flesh. And I'm not saying anything, but I'm noticing, and my spirit is heavy with these thoughts and with this conversation about this demon right here is trying to fulfill our Holy Spirit up and corrupt us. And you know what I'm saying? I was really on attack with this guy because my spirit is like, I see what's going on now. Now I'm in a middle way. It's no longer a flesh thing, it's a spiritual thing that I'm seeing. And I'm not saying anything, but I'm just observing everything. And my energy is so strong that this guy, he's not saying anything as well. But now we're speaking in the mind, like we're telepathic talking. And he's like, that's not me. I'm not on that. And he's getting real fidgety, but he's not saying anything. And I'm looking over there like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where are you? Because you're speaking to me in your mind and you're getting real fidgety. Because I'm just thinking to myself at this point, like, this guy is a demon. He's trying to fulfill our spirits with the drugs and alcohol and get us to be able to be used, open our spirits to this world for these energies to get in us and have their way. And I'm like, I'm cool, Joe. I'm cool on that. And then, like, everybody's still going about their little thing. Nobody really aware of what the spirit is going and what's doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how we're corrupting our flesh with these spirits that's around taking advantage. So my spirit tested his spirit, and it was like he's like he getting fidgety, like, oh man, somebody in here trying to stop me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the devil can't be in the light with Christ because it's too bright. And it was like that was in me. Like my light was starting to be too bright for him. He like, oh, I'm about to, he just can't stand it. He ready to get up out of there. Then he looked over to me like, oh, this is where the light coming from. But he didn't say anything because at the time I'm thinking all of this stuff. And then when I'm thinking and I'm like, it gotta be that. And he looked right over to me like, I'm not the one, woo, woo, but he's speaking in his mind. And he's like, I'm like, this gotta be something, dog, because I ain't tell my friends nothing like that, but I kept it to myself. Because certain times, certain things you just gotta keep to yourself. People won't believe you, they won't understand it, they're not spiritually inclined to be equipped with this type of information. But anyway, right? It was the weirdest thing. I never had that type of communication with anybody. But at that moment, I know the spirit was working in me, and it was letting me know that this right here is a negative spirit. And if you carry on with this, then you're going to be exactly like him, being the Antichrist, stealing the life from other people. Because if I was to be unaware of what was going on, I could have simply been influenced by this guy, by this entity, this spirit, or whatever. And I wasn't so much spiritual at the time to where the veil to unlift, where if he was to cloak himself, I see exactly what he is or what he was. All I knew was that this man could speak in his mind, and he was real fidgety when I was going against this evil spirit that was trying to corrupt our minds. And another time, right, I was locked up. Um, it was the weirdest thing. I'll wake up, someone wake me up, and I'm on the top bunk, which I didn't like that. You got to climb up the bed every day, like damn, this shit irritating. But anyway, I'm on the top bunk. I wake up, and everybody sleep, which is odd in the county jail because people was up all day, all night. Sometimes they even go use the washroom or whatever, or they just up talking shit or whatever, right? But no night is not no night in my 190 days. Nobody was never just sleep for the whole night. Everybody. But this night, even the guard was sleeping. I'm like, the guard usually ain't around here, whatever, right? I'm not. I'm laying in my bed looking like this because I can see down here and I can see straight ahead. But my attention is not towards the roof or anything because I'm looking at everybody sleeping. I'm kind of questioning what's really going on. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I'm finna finally get up. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing the roof gone. It's like so much darkness behind. Like I could see the wall. The walls in front of me, dude. Up there, it's a little feet ahead or whatever, right? But up a little bit now, I can see through my periphery at the top that the roof is gone. I'm seeing straight darkness. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I sit up. I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm like, in my mind right now, I'm thinking about escaping. I'm like, this was going through my mind. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, since everybody's asleep, I can hurry up, deal, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to really contemplate how I'm going to do this. Then while I'm thinking about that, the next thing I know, I'm up, like up, straight up, standing up. And then I look down. I'm out of the earth. I'm looking down at the earth like, oh shit. But I wasn't scared. I was just like, what the fuck going on? Like, is this really happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be a portal. Everybody got to be um in a trance right now. This must be it because I can't explain what's going on. This experience that I'm having. I'm just looking at the earth. I'm looking at the stars float. I'm looking at everything. I'm in total darkness. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. I'm in space. I never want to be out here. Whatever, right? So while I'm just looking at everything, next thing I know, I'm stopped. I'm not floating anymore. I'm not coming up anymore. I'm just now on solid ground. And the solid ground is total darkness. Like if I'm standing on a black floor that you can see through, I could feel my feet on the ground at this point. And as soon as I land on whatever I was standing on, from my right side, I could feel something massive. I could feel the presence because I told you, like, uh, I'm an empath. I can feel things. I can feel people' presence. I can feel when the TV come on. I can feel emotions. Me being an empath, like I'm deep with these feelings, right? And not all feelings are always mine. Like I said, I feel the presence of someone else. And this person is really huge. So I'm like, oh, I could feel something big. I instantly get filled of fear. I just get on my knees and I'm looking down at the universe and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm scared at this point because I don't know what's coming around. And if this thing just brought me up here, what's going to happen, right? And then he's coming around to my front to meet me face to face. He said, Aaron, I come in peace. Get up. And then I just see like a bright light or whatever. And I'm like, okay. He said, I'm not going to hurt you. Get up. So I stand up and I was scared to face him. And then this guy is so huge. He's an angel. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm in the middle of his legs. Like he's so tall. I'm standing up to her like his ankle. He's way up there. And his legs is like a big old doorway. And it's just so much brightness. And in between his legs, like a door open or whatever. But all I noticed was my little sister right there. The one who passed away, who Team Angie is about. My late great sister. And she was there. We talked. We had a conversation. I was months before this vision or whatever you want to call it that I had, this experience. My sister passed away December 6th, 2011. And I grieved that way. January, like a week or basically the next month I was locked up from my grieving and my anger, right? I committed sin and that's what it was. I hurt my family. We was already losing my sister. We lost my sister, and now it was me in jail and another one of my brothers. And it was like our world was crashing down, and it was a very hard time. And the way that I was grieving in jail was I was having these spiritual experiences. Like I told you, I had met three people with names of the Bible. These were three prophets. The names of the Bible, but these guys in jail, they were basically filling my spirit with the Holy Christ, telling me like God hasn't given up on you and God don't want you to give up on yourself. Stuff like this, right? When it was hard to hear these things, but it helped me nevertheless. But anyway, my sister came to me in this way and we talked and she gave me console. She consoled me, comforted me, and she gave me a teddy bear and she said, I love you. And then she said, I gotta go. And she turned around, she walked through the angel legs and she went up through some stairs, whatever. And they all disappeared. And then everything was back to normal. I was laying on my bed in jail, and then I like that was crazy. But what was even more crazy is the bear that she gave me was on my chest, and I felt it just like if somebody touched my chest. And I wake up, I was so scared that that teddy bear was there, and it fell. And then I was like, "What is going on?" You know. And then I had put the covers over my face because I'm like, "This is way too much." And then when I finally, came back to, I'm looking like, "Damn, that bear gone. I should have kept it or whatever." Or I was kind of regretting that part, but I was like, I know I just had that experience. I can't say it wasn't real. Just like I can't say the little images that I see from time to time is not real. I can't dismiss this. And before that happened, um, I was dealing with this prophet Peter Popoff. You might know him, you may not. But he sent me a letter like right after my sister passed. I was in the bathroom reading it. It was comforting, but I just broke down crying because it was just too much. And then right then and there, while I was in the bathroom crying, I just felt the spirit hug me, and I was like, "Damn, that was my sister." And then right after that, I felt better, and she was gone, but I didn't see her. I just felt it, and I feel like this is the middle way for people who know how to engage with the spirit and use this in a way that will help others be able to be comforted and so many other things to be healed or whatnot, right? Uh, those were good spiritual experiences, not as scary as other ones that I've had. And I could tell you guys about those as well. Like when I had night terrors, and I believe they came from Peter Popoff. I used to send him money through this ministry. I met him in person in Chicago at the Hilton Hotel. It was on Magnificent Mile. They had this conference, and we was in a ballroom, very very nice building. If you ever been to the Hilton Hotel in Chicago, Magnificent Mile is also a nice strip. You can go there, the Millennium Park, and all of these nice little things, right? But in this ballroom, they have a white horse. It's red carpet all the way through it. It's a big old stage, it's chandeliers. It's very, very beautiful. We had like about 1,000 people in there, and I was living in Kenosha, Wisconsin at this time, so I had hopped on the train to go back home because I was going to basically miss that last train back. I'd been stuck in Chicago, which isn't a problem. But I don't want to be calling my peoples late at night, like come get me. You know what I'm saying? Just being inconsistent. I mean, inconsiderate. Um, when I stopped dealing with dude, I started having night terrors. The first time it happened, I used to have. It started like this, right? I used to have reoccurring nightmares while I'm running. I'm running from something, always. And then that stopped, and it started turning into me having to fight. So what I just learned about this is a spiritual attacks, right? They come in your dreams, and if you lose that fight, you lose in the physical world. Also, if you get caught, then you're caught up in this physical world and stuff like that. Like I didn't notice at the time, but I'm thank God that I had that energy to fight and whatever, right? That Christ was using me to keep me. So when that stopped working, one day I woke up in the middle of a dream. I was finna fight back, and I woke up. I see my arm swing. I'm like, damn, I be moving in my sleep. You know, I'm like, that was wild. But that very next night, now something on my chest pushed me up. Oh, it's hurting. Like who's sitting on me? I wake up. Oh, ain't nobody here. What? I can't breathe now. I'm like, oh man, what is going on? I can't breathe. I can't even move. Now I'm panicking. I'm like, oh no, like what's really going on? And then I start to look around. I look up, and then here in front of me is the devil, I guess, or who, I don't know. This man was so big, eyes red, he's so black, and he got like horns. I'm like, oh shit, who the fuck is that? And he just looking at me with those eyes like, I'll kill you right now. And I'm like, damn, I see you trying. And I'm like, you can't take my life right now because I got too much living to do, and I'm not going like this. Never, ever. So the only thing I could think of, my sister passed away, and we used to talk about Christ all the time, and she had experiences or whatever, right? But she told me, and I never forget this. She's like, "Call on the blood of Jesus, and He'll be there." And that's the only thing I think about at the time. I was like, I just kept saying, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus," in the blood of Jesus in my mind because I couldn't speak. In my mind, I'm saying like, "Jesus, Jesus, come here, help me." And I think I said it like 3 times, and then all of a sudden I was able to move again and breathe again, and the dude was gone. I was like, man, I stayed up for like hours, just like, what was that? You know, like I was so frightened. I sleep in the dark anyway, always. Like I love to sleep in the dark because like that's how I recharge, right? But that wasn't the first and it wasn't the last. This went on for years at a time. And the last time that it happened, it was a different demon this time. He had yellow eyes. And what woke me up was a ghost. I think it was my grandma or my sister, but it was a girl. She's in my face like this when I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck? So I try to scoot back. I'm like, damn, is this a, you know? And when I really realized it's a ghost girl, she swing back quick like this when she realized I'm woke. Cause she woke me up in my face and shit. I don't know who the fuck is that. So I'm frightened by seeing her. And then she swing back like to the door like this. And then I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? But behind her was the big ass demon with the yellow eyes, and he was like, she was protecting me from him. I'm like, oh shit! Now I'm starting to get the the freezing up shit going on. Because now I'm like, damn, I guess she was like, stay focused on me and don't worry about what I'm protecting you from. But when I took the focus off her, that's when I started like, oh shit, like that's that thing in here with us. And then my mom, because my sister passed and we was like going through that, we was at my aunt crib. I slept in the room with my mom and dad on the floor. They wake up like, you good? You good? What's going on? You want us to pray for you? Whatever. Woo, woo?" I'm like, yeah. And then I didn't tell them like I just seen two crazy things, but they was wondering what was going on. They started praying for me or whatever. Then I leave. I go out the room. I go sleep in the living room with one of my cousins. He like, you good? Cause he on the phone talking to his girl or some girl or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I just want to lay out here. He like, all right. I imagine he heard what was going on in the room. He like, I know they just prayed for your ass. Like, nigga, all right. You don't want to talk about it. It's cool. But I was like, you know, I didn't really know what to think. But what I knew was that this spiritual life, the spiritual realm is real. And that these things have power, more power than you will ever know. And whenever I don't agree with the people who are sending these things, that's when they ante up, they turn it up, right? So now you start being attacked by your finances, your mental health, your relationships, your creativity, everything that you could think of starts to crumble. And you just stay in prayer, you stay fast, and you stay steadfast no matter what attacks. And then you learn how to equip yourself with power to fight back. But yeah, I had a lot of experiences, and that's just with spirits, right? And then as far as with witches, I had two witches come to me doing the same similar thing. She was like, uh, she basically came pissed off. One of them I know, the other one I didn't know. But this girl I know, I ain't gonna speak of her name, but she came. She's like, I told you don't be saying shit about what I got going on. And I seen her. She came in the middle of the night. I seen her. Right, I'm like, oh shit, because she had her hood on and shit. She had all black, and she just standing there like, I'm finna beat your ass. The way that she was looking, but she wasn't saying nothing. But she was communicating with her energy, like, I'm finna fuck you up. And the only thing I could do is I told her, like, if you do anything to me on the screen, I'm gonna try to get some motherfuckers to come get on your ass. And then as soon as I said that, she slid up real quick and she was like holding me down with her powers or her energy or whatever. She locked me tight and shut me up. Just like how when you in a sleep paralysis, you can't move, you can't speak, and this is just like that. But it's her instead of him or whatever that thing was. And then I'm trying to mumble out the words, whatever, woo, woo, and I finally get something out, I guess, and everybody come and she gone and I'm freaking. And I'm like, damn, this girl is no joke. I don't know how to play with her no more. But yeah, these are experiences that I did not want to experience, that I didn't even think was real. I always was led to seeing these type of cartoons, these type of movies. Just it's in my mind, right? These signs and symbols, and come to turn out that this stuff is really real. You need to pay attention on how to deal with some of this stuff, whether it's cartoon, movie, or music, whatever, right? So that lets me know like it's more than what you could think, and everything ain't for everybody because you'll tell somebody like I told my girl at the time when I first had that night terror. She was like, a witch was riding your back. We need to pray for you. Woo woo woo. So that was the first time I ever heard something like that. And big shout out to my homegirl. We talk about these things. She care about my spirit, and they're God fearing people. Their family. Her mom tell her good stuff. She tell me good stuff, and even shared Bible verses with me, whatever. When I was incarcerated, doing my time of corrections, and she was like, "Yeah, that's what that is." And I was happy to talk to her about it because, like, I felt weird. I didn't want to tell anybody like what I experienced, but I know not to suffer in silence. That's what Team Angie is about for people who have experiences, even if it's just depression or anxiety. I created this safe space for us to talk about these things and not to suffer in silence, right? But anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm about to hurry up and play this video and then equip y'all with some other things that you can check out. And we'll do story time another time, and you could ask me questions or whatever on my experiences, whether you believe it or not.
Prepared to more violation, darkness, and knowledge will help you understand how the traverses into the most sacred celebration. Using the innocence of Christmas as eyes for structuration. If that touches your heart, consider leaving an offering of super thanks. Liberate truth to thousands of souls embedded in the object. I knew a witch in Portanov who specialized exclusively. She had worked with clients throughout the year, but December
Was received, given, or found. This stuff is truly real. I had this necklace. It was a jewel, right? It was I think it's called a sun diamond or something like that. But it was very beautiful. It was yellow and white. It basically looked like a canary yellow diamond, a real diamond. It was diamond shaped, it glittered. It was nice, right? For some reason, I really like this. I like diamonds, crystals, all this type of stuff, right? Before I really knew, like, not all crystals are just, good crystals. Some of this stuff is filled with those energies. But anyway, this necklace always broke off. Like, I used to have like a little beaded chain with it or whatever, right? But it broke off like 2 to 3 times. And one day I'm running, like, I always found myself in weird situations with that chain. I got it from somebody that I know and care about, whatever. But the energy that came with that was always like chaotic. It was always misfortune. It was always a close call. You might see me on cops wearing that chain one day when they was like, "Yeah, you lucky. You were in the wrong place at the. I mean, you at the right place at the wrong time. There's so much going on around here. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You just skated off." And I was like, that same night or the next night, I think it was that same night, the chain fell off my chest. I pick it up or whatever, right? Then another time it just, I don't have it no more, but it was basically coming off me itself because of the power that I have within me was like, get rid of this or continuously experience these unwanted experiences with this. Right now, that chain is, in the house of somebody that I don't even live there no more, that they don't live there anymore, that was left behind on accident. Also, I had this ring, right? This and I got this ring from Peter Popoff. It was a color changing ring, a move ring. For some reason, it was always black, and I was in an argument with one of my sisters, and it flew off my hand. I'm like, damn. And when I get out to look for it, it turned green. It was in the grass, or it might have been black, but I couldn't find it. So that lets me know that those two objects that I had wasn't right for my household or for me to be wearing. And I love rosaries. I had one and it got caught on the thing and it broke right there. I was like, wow. So those are signs and symbols that when this stuff get lost or when it comes up off you, keep it off you because it's nice to look nice, but not everything comes with the right price or not everything comes with the right energy. So I'm pretty excited and I'm pretty thankful that these things found their way off of my body. And then vice versa, right? I love rocks, stones. I'll be walking around, I'll find some stuff or whatever, right? I'll pick stuff up. Like, I'm not sure what kind of stone or crystal this is, but every time I have this, money comes to me. This little thing, right? And the police took my other thing, I think. So you can probably barely see this, but it's pink. It's gold. I mean, not gold, but it's like, it's real beautiful. And I just like it. So I picked it up. But I have money opportunities that come to me. It's like, this is, if I was to make this a chain, it'd be beautiful, it'd be nice, or I could turn it into whatever, right? But it protects my finances. Or at least I like to think so. It'd be in my money pocket. My finances has been very, very good. I'm steady receiving all type of stuff. Like settlements, new opportunities, new investments. And it's not because it is rock, it's because my beliefs, right? And certain things are good for you, just like gold, just like bronze, just like copper, right? If you know anything about copper, it's a metal that uh, basically, if you have high blood pressure and you rock real copper, it'll balance your blood pressure. And also, it grows your garden. It's like a steroid. If you ever have plants and you put a penny in there, a real penny, at the bottom of your cup or a copper rod, your shit's gonna grow so fast. And I showed you guys. Check out my YouTube videos. I had did an experiment where I was just growing this past summer. I had nice crops. I harvested in October. I was fruitful for my birthday, and every year, well, for 3 years I've been doing this. And this was the first year I used copper to test that theory and to find out that it really works. So when you see people doing all these things, they talk about the ancestors and stuff like that. Not all of this stuff is demonic. Like they make you think to give up your powers because you think it's certain stuff demonic. That's why I say you got to have a relationship with God for yourself, because you'll be missing out on blessings, you'll be missing out on protection, you'll be missing out on power, thinking everything is demonic. Listening to these people tell you what they believe and what they don't know, because you don't know, because all you guys want to believe in something, right? That's why I say I don't believe in God. I know God for myself, and for somebody who a believer, I don't let their wavery faith convince me on what I need to believe. I know what I know. And if you're not sure about what you know, I don't care about what you believe. That's why I don't believe in much. If I don't know it to be true for a fact, I don't believe it at all. And if I don't do any research, I would never know. Especially, I would never have any knowledge. Knowledge is something that people can't take from you. They could take away your jobs. They could take credit, right? But at the end of the day, if they don't know how to do it, they can't implement what you've done. That credit will fade away, and then they'll be known as an imposter, right? Everything comes to the light some way, some form, some fashion. That's why it's just nice to be authentic. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to be successful every first time you try something. It is what it is, right? And this is what makes us human. We're perfectly imperfect people. And we just strive each day that we can. For some of us, and some of us we don't. We just allow what the world gives to us because we drift. You won't say no because this is the opportunity that comes your way. While other people, they create opportunities and they accept and not accept certain stuff in their lives, right? This is how you create boundaries as well. Not accepting everybody's ideology or bullshit. People know I'm not accessible. You can't come reaching me with the bullshit because I'm not available. Don't like it, so what? These are boundaries I set to protect my mental health and my peace. And it's all right. You got to love yourself first before anybody can love you correctly. If you don't love yourself, you're an open window saying, take advantage, guys. Free, free range. Because when you have a sign on yourself, that energy lets people know I'm closed for that bullshit. I'm closed for the negativity. I'm closed for the confusion, right? And people will know, like, you don't have a sign up. Let me see if you're open for me to play around with, right? And then you're in a position where, oh, do I set a boundary now or do I keep accepting it? I mean, hey, do as you please. But for me and my sanity and my mental health, I let it be known that I'm protecting my energy and my energy speaks for itself. I'm not available for certain things and I will not be available for certain things. And it is what it is, right? Because as soon as you start, you got to be careful who you call your friends and who you help. Um, Certain people, they be jealous of you and they want to get in your presence so that they can use this witchcraft or steal your energy or destiny swap. You'd be surprised what type of weird stuff people be on. And you never really know, especially if you don't have any discernment. But I'm just sharing my experiences, like you'd be surprised what people be into. Like the chick that I was talking about, we were super cool until the day she told me, I'm gonna be leaving, I'm finna go do this witch stuff with my peoples, my parents, my grandma. And I'm like, damn, that's a real thing, a witch school and all of this and that. She said so much without saying so much. But anyway, it was like, damn, I would have never knew that this was going on in their household. I'm not judging anybody or anything, but you don't know what people believe in or what they know about or what they entertain, right? But yeah, I'm finna end this really, really soon. Happy Monday. Happy new month of December. We're going to end this year with a strong finish. For those of you who had New Year goals, it's not too late to get on top of that and end this year accomplished. My goal is what I'm doing right here, right now, working on my YouTube channel, until it's monetized, and then I'm working on a new goal. But in the meantime, the marathon continues, and this is exactly what I'm gonna be doing, and what I'm going to continue to do until that goal is complete. I've missed a couple days. I want to get back on schedule and time, and I usually be on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Central. I'm not on the East Coast, but in the middle of the Midwest, we break down on the Eastern Time Zone, and some of it is Central. When I lived in Illinois, I was on Central, and now in Michigan, we're on the East. So I try to make sure you guys know what time to catch me. But nevertheless, make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you can see when I drop, because I drop every single day. And you guys looking for motivation and inspiration, you can catch that every single day. All you have to do is turn on your notification bells. But until I get more consistent with the timing that I go live and broadcast, um, that's something I'm working on. But you guys won't miss out on the thing.
People ordered specific pieces. A necklace for the sister-in-law, a ring for the friend, for the daughter. She would require the matches, which would
I think y'all mean about caffeine high or something like that. I don't know, dog. But I think I'm gonna have to stop drinking this stuff. Do y'all be feeling like that off of coffee, dog? Like, damn, I feel fucked up. Like I'm high. I ain't even smoked today. My bad. I ain't mean to be rambling on, but I need to know. Like, do y'all be feeling like that off coffee, dog? I ain't even. Yeah, I did. I put a little bit of sugar, but not a lot. Is it the sugar high? I think this gonna be my thing for next year, right? I'll get high off this instead of smoking weed and buying cigarettes, because that's my next challenge next year, to be 365 days in my sobriety. And I say next year because I know I'm down to fail this year, New Year's, Christmas. I want to celebrate myself. And until I could change my mindset, I won't be able to change my habits and change my ways. It takes a new way of thinking to have a new reality. And that's just being honest. To be honest with myself, I'm not ready for that new way of thinking. Did y'all catch that? That was three different ones working on one case. Like I was saying, negativity has a plethora, has cousins, families, all of them ready to get on that ass once you in that energy field. When you vibrating on that frequency, and then vice versa. When you vibrate higher, you have a lot of things in that higher vibration that want to attach to you, like joy, confidence, trust, um, different things like that, right? Anger, hate, malice, jealousy. These things are all lower vibrational frequencies. And when you vibrate low, your energy is basically being used in that way, right? Someone's angry, they're most likely to commit violence or to curse you out. They'll act on those type of ways in that manner. Well, what she was being attacked with was the spirit of confusion. Let me go right back real quick. Abandonment, and I just heard it and forgot that fast. That's how the devil works, though. He want to take this stuff out of your mind so you don't know, so you won't be equipped, and you won't recognize these tricks. Like when I was saying with the guy who didn't say much, but in his mind he was speaking to me because I was recognizing these spirits. He was uncomfortable and he was fidgeting and everything. And everybody like, oh, we just chilling or whatever. But I know what was going on. And I'll never forget that moment where I encountered one of these spirits in the flesh. and he was very uneasy, very, very. When I recognized what was going on and what was he trying to do, he was like, "I gotta bounce, I gotta go." Everybody like, why? Because he met my spirit, which is basically gonna test him. Like, you're not finna be, in this holy place, in this holy presence of mine, doing this type of stuff. Now that your tricks has been recognized, you gotta go. And I didn't tell him to go anywhere. Like, he left on his own accord. To be into it with people like that, like, it's not against flesh and blood. It's powers and principalities that we battle against because we didn't get into altercation or nothing. This was all mental thoughts that we were speaking to each other, which was scared me enough. But it scared him even more to where he left, right? Which was even more crazy. Like, he had the power. The light always outshines the darkness for anybody who thinks differently. Like this, you got to know what type of spell work being worked because you're not a equally yoked union. You situations like this. Not to say every relationship is going to be perfect without problems, but when you consistently have these type of situations constantly going on, you need to really recognize the red flags. It's nice to like somebody, to love somebody, but don't be in lust and unequally yoked with a succubus, meaning a boy or a girl who's draining the energy out of you, and you are constantly experiencing these things in a relationship. Insecure, clingy. These things are draining. You don't want, of course, right? Love is equally balanced. You do for each other, whatever, right? But when it's like that, when somebody too clingy, they don't give you any space, any room, and so dependent on you, it's like you're taking care of a baby at this point. You're retraining a child. The mind of this person is now on their second childhood because of the actions they're doing. And you're like, well, damn, I don't really deal with this person because they're draining my energy. They're not reciprocating my energy. And you hear that a lot with people in relationships. It's why they depart and don't grow in the same direction together. um, he the one putting the work on her. Now she's trapped as a drifter, drifting wherever this man pulls her energy towards. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff is so real. You being drained in relationships, like, why can't I get out? Oh, because I love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, because that person is doing work on you, and that's a red flag. Mentally, this isn't right, but yet and still you continuously use your energy to put into this situation. That's the power of energy. That's the power of not thinking for yourself and not being protected. Because once this energy spell has been put on you, all your energy goes to being drained and just going through the motions. You don't have any clear mind. Well, you do, but you don't because you don't use that energy to, you know, get the power that you need to go grab the sources that you need until eventually your family or friends will be like, we need to see a shaman or we need to go see a priest or something ain't right, right? That's usually when your ancestors, the power of their prayers come to save you because prayer does work. And also the prayer of the elders, the prayer of your family. Like if you pray over your family, those prayers last lifetime. Those are agreements to God, like depending on what you're praying for and what you're praying about. But let me bring it right back really, really quick about the collector, right? He was like, when people make deals with the devil, they're not specific on what they want. That's why they end up being so vague and vogue to where they got to come. This one guy, he was a lawyer and he was like, I just want to be a successful lawyer winning cases. And then come to find out all of the cases that he won was manipulated through the back end. He's like, well, when you asked about winning cases, did you ask to win cases for people that are actually guilty? He's like, no. He's like, well, that's why this situation is like this. Like you're winning cases, but these people aren't really guilty, and it just started turning into a big mess. He was like, when you get blessings from the devil, that curse goes to somebody else, whether family, friend, or stranger. Somebody had to pay for your goodness, and that goodness going to you is going backwards to somebody else. So then he was trying to figure out, like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He was like, all of these cases you won, all of the money you made, all your success, all your good fortune comes from the price of all of the people that you lost cases to or won cases to, because all of these people wasn't innocent and all these people wasn't guilty. And now it's blowing up in your face. And this was the time of the 24 hours where the devil was like, you got 24 hours before I take everything away in your soul. And in those 24 hours, everything was unfolding, everything was crumbling. And this was going on, and him trying to redeem himself to, make things right, it was too late. He go to a place where one of these people that he wrongfully convicted killed him. He died in jail visiting somebody, which was really crazy. And his soul was took that night. So it's like, be mindful of what you praying for. Even when you're praying to God, you can be like, Lord, I need money. He give you 20 cents. You're not happy. Well, you ask for money, 20 cents is money, right? So you have to be detailed, especially with manifestation, because we are co-creators with Christ. And when you co-create with Christ, the master carpenter, Jesus Christ, you want to be detailed like he is. Like, you want to be specific on what you want so that you don't become ungrateful. Gratefulness is a key tool that the Lord likes as far as sacrifice to him, worship and praise and fasting. Those are sacrifices that God accepts and likes, not us going to go chop off a rooster, a chicken hen, or grab a little kid. All of this nonsense, right? These are the things that the Holy Spirit uh, frowns upon. But the negative spirits love this because these are the sacrifices they want. These are the sacrifices they need because you're using energy to hurt, harm, and you know, pull out energy from somebody else that feeds these negative energy, these negative entities. They feed off of fear. They feed off violence. They feed off greed. They feed off lust. They feed off destruction. You know, all of these things. That's what they feed off of. Just like America is so much corrupt, so much uh viral sensations about all of the nonsense, all of the crazy stuff to keep our energy heightened with fear, with confusion, with uncertainty, right? So that when they do something big, it'll be a wool over our heads. We won't have any energy to really fight back and to be putting into things that really truly matter. I'm gonna end this video just like this, and with this being said, that be mindful, dog. Be prayerful. Know God for yourself. Spend a little time getting to know God, whether your God be Allah, Buddha, Jesus, whoever, whatever, right? My reason for saying that is because I'm not here to convert anyone. If you want to know more about Christ, I can definitely lead you the right way. Matthew chapter 6 is the way that you pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power, the kingdom, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And that means so be it. And that is the way that you pray. Of course, you can tweak it up, add your own words, take away. But in this prayer is simply asking God to give you what you need for today, that you won't have to be out here seeking extras and being convinced that you need to steal, that you need to take from somebody else or manipulate somebody else to get what you need for the day. Most people aren't grateful for just having this present gift of the day. And they go about the day being more ungrateful for everything else that they have or don't have that they're not aware of, right? Waking up in your right mind is a special gift. Not everybody wakes up this day. Some people die in their sleep because of what I was telling you about these spiritual battles that happen in their sleep. And sometimes they lose their soul in that spiritual realm, not knowing if they're ever going to. We can leave that up to the imagination, but anyway, right? And not everybody wakes up in their right mind. They go to sleep perfectly fine. They wake up, they're hearing voices. They're skits. They're bipolar. They're fucking lost. They have an identity crisis. They wake up with health problems. Can't even get out of the bed. You know, it's a lot of things that people don't talk about. Those flashing lights that just happened a couple last month or the month before, the aurora boreals that's supposed to happen across the Midwest. Curiosity, right? Not having discernment. Some people ran out to go see that live in the flesh. And one girl, you're gonna see her, hear about her later on. she got hit by something that fell out of the sky from those colorful lights, and now her eyes are yellow. She has something internal that she can't get rid of, and she looks really bad. It fell on her cheek, which looked like a bruise, like somebody just a hot rock or something. What's going on in the world? The sky's hurting people, turning people into zombies. It's looking like I Am Legend getting ready to start, especially the way that she was looking. It was scary. And not to disrespect the lady at all. I'm not trying to make fun of her, but I'm just being honest about not having discernment, running with the crowd. How you be able to be in a situation where you think um is unharmful, but nevertheless you in harm's way, right? I looked at it on the TV screen. I looked at it on the internet. Like I don't want to go see that stuff. I've never seen Aurora boreals in Midwest my whole life. I see strange things in the sky, but I don't want to be up under that when it's going on. And here in Michigan, you see all type of stuff. Like last night, saw the Big Dipper and seen a lot of little stars. They be flickering or whatever. You can check it out. I'll be recording it sometime on my YouTube. So go check through my shorts. Um, it's weird stuff going on. I don't know what's up there. But I have discernment enough to know, like, I'm not going to be playing around, messing around, finding out, right? I'm not going to be putting myself in harm's way to be internet sensation or to have something to share with the internet. I'm pretty sure that's why they was out there, like, oh, look at I was out there, right? But instead, now she's sharing what happened, and what happened isn't a pretty sight. I want to show y'all so bad, but then again, I might ruin your appetite if you haven't had breakfast yet. Yeah, look it up. Like meter. Hold on, let me go ahead. We're gonna be done with this in a bit anyway. Oh shit, I just stopped sharing it, but I'm gonna pull it up really, really quick because it's the other day. This girl look, man, it was look nasty. Let me just go through my stuff real quick because I think it was a short. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But this type of stuff I do with my time, like I be just looking up information. I like a lot of conspiracy theory stuff to see what's real, what's not, and just to put my own 2 cents to it, right? And y'all can see what I be listening to. Only reason I'm playing a lot because of copyright issues. You know, people sense about their work, especially MGM Music. They be on. So yeah, I like stuff like this. Like Jenny, her channel is the bomb. I was just watching this before I share with you guys. Party Next Door, a lot of Drake, Bob Marley. This song dope. If y'all never heard this before. You know, the world was flat. If you roll too far, you'll fall off. All right, let me go back. This Wiz Kid, this the Wadi, Tory Lanez Pain. Where that girl at though? Like, that's what happened with them lights to Shorty. You were like, yeah. She went out there playing around. Like a lot of people, they want to be seeing what's going on. Like to me, I was like, this stuff unnatural. Usually they be happening like the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like Nevada, Cali, or something like that. I don't know. I ain't never been West Coast, but they had gave me my money back for the tickets. So I'm like, whatever, dog. Man, I'm trying to find it real quick because I watch a lot of videos. I think it was on here though. If I can't find it, it is what it is. I didn't even watch these videos. I don't know why it's on my thing. Man, dog, I really want to share this image. I know I ain't watch all this stuff last night or this morning. All right, I'll finish this real quick. See, like, here go my videos right here. I just put them out. All right, I'm finna see. Don't waste no more time. I don't even know how to spell it. Let me try this real quick. Girl in the hospital from meteor shower effect. Girl in the hospital from meteor shower. Man, that ain't don't show it. Damn, my stuff run real slow too. What that girl face? It was so nasty. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. Meteor shower affect face who got hit. My God. All right, let me try this one more time. Third time, maybe not. Girl that got hit by the meteor shower 2025. The accident. They be fucking pissing me off with this shit, dog. That's the thing about smart stuff, right? Where the fuck is she at? It must have been on one of them things, because you know TikTok show it all. They don't give a damn. But what was it? Let me see if I can kind of tweak hers up. I don't even know how to spell this shit, dog. Man, all right, I ain't gonna be able to share. Let me see, Aurora. I know I spelled that wrong. I butchered the spelling. I don't even know how to spell, dog. That's crazy. All right, let me try one more time. Girl on TikTok that her face burned by the meteor shower. And share with y'all, cause they don't want to show it short, or if it was during the little clip that I saw. I think this should pull it up. It might not. I ain't want to see no shit like. All right, we ain't finna even look no more, dog. I was not trying to see nothing like. All right, I'm cool with that one, dog. Finna look no more. I got a weak stomach for shit like that. Like, oh. I'm not one of them gory type of people finna be watching all that type of shit. It don't do much for me. Like, I don't want to see that. I'm cool. I feel bad for people that go through and experience that type of shit, but everything ain't for, you know. Like come on, dog. I don't want to see that shit, dog. It probably was a short because I do watch a lot of shorts, though. I just don't remember watching some of these. These are the ones I created myself. Here she is. I felt like it was a short.
Did you see the meteor shower last night? Landed on my face. What the hell is this?
This is Emma, and you know there's more to her story than an event. She's a woman in her 20s, and contrary to what people keep telling her, she hasn't had issues with hepatitis, malaria, addiction, or pancreatic cancer. The damage was caused.
All right, we ain't finna keep going, dog. But y'all heard what she said, right? I don't even want to spoil your appetite. Let me look up what that video was called. It said you should get tested. Um, the doctor was shot. You should get tested. Pound thanks. All right, yeah, you should get tested. Pound thanks. Discernment, dog. People out here not thinking for themselves. Whenever you agree with the world, you're basically a red flag yourself. Whenever your thoughts align with the world, like, oh, everybody's gonna do this, I should. You should. You need to really, really think about why they're doing this and then why you shouldn't. Because the world will lead you to your demise. Like whatever she got, I was gonna say I thank God. I hope that I hope God give her a miracle or something. I don't know, dog. I just like miracles do happen. This is the time in the season she really needs to, have some discernment on who to be following up behind and all of the stuff that the government got going on, have a lot of discernment whether it's conspiracy or not. Like some of this stuff, some of this information will really truly save you. You don't want to be out here trying to figure out what you got now. Um, Passing it on around, like, you don't want to be a lab rat because that's what they finna do with her. They finna keep her and test her and do all type of stuff. And whatever they find out, they finna weaponize whatever she got. You already know, right? She not finna be the same ever again, which I don't know that to be fact. And I hope that it's not the situation or not the case. But yeah, be mindful when you running up behind the world because the world will have you looking like that. I knew for a fact, like, we finna have some light showers. This sound weird. I don't know what's going on. I see a lot of movies where people go outside looking up and they be stuck. Seeing a lot of videos of people just stuck to the trees or they just out there gathering like what I don't care what's going on. I'm not that curious, right? Curiosity kills the cat. You got 9 times to be so curious to where you and let me tell you something about the number 9. Why they say a cat has 9 lives. Because after 10 it's made manifested, it's for sure. 10 really doesn't exist. 10 is just starting over from 0 to 9. If you don't know the power of 9, after that it's the power of completion, right? That's why 9 is so powerful. 369. These aren't just numbers, these are energetic portals. These are energy, right? So when you think about it, like how it works, right? I heard a guy say this, and it's so true. Everywhere across the globe, whether you a Crip blood or you gang bang different, it ain't no difference around the world. Me as a Blackstone, we had our streets. We had about 10 blocks, and then after that, the next 10 blocks somebody else, or it's a free zone. But we run about 10 blocks a piece. After that ninth block, like we was on 29th, and on the 30th, that's where the whole other thing started. And they run from 30th, to like Lewis or whatever, right? And before that, you got other people running blocks. It's like a 10 block mile radius. But we run from basically the 20th, 21st to 29th, roaming that land. And then right where the 30th started, like I say, the number 9, after it starts over, there's where the new energy flows. Like on this 29th block was the completion of our energy draining system that we got set up. And on the next block, that's where it starts over. Because if we truly wanted to, we'd own the whole land, right? But this isn't coincidences by design. This is the way that these numbers work and the way that they're designed, where people thinking that it's just people not even conscious enough to know how they're participating in this energy grid, right? Um, where I was going with that was this. Signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. A lot of people like to be blinded because the truth hurts and the truth is unsettling from time to time. And it'd be hurt to know that we were participating in some demonic and helping destroy the people, right? Becoming an antichrist, keeping people trapped in this system, keeping people blinded from seeing the truth, hearing the truth, and knowing the truth. Uh, I just know for a fact that certain days in time, certain days in history, these are certain energy points where people use where so much stuff happens, right? Like the veil is open the most on Halloween nights. Why so many people like to be partaking in this ritual, and even with Krampus, right? The day, the time, certain events happen in history on certain days and time, like 9/11, November. I mean, not November, September. The number 9, the number 11, like the pillars, right? There's no coincidence that they happen on that date. A lot of this stuff seems symbolical. It seems strange, ordinary, but these are the way that people use energy with your knowledge or without your knowledge to make things happen. And as you can tell, like the energy that they used on Halloween night was used to this made it happen before or after what they did the Charlie Kirk thing. And then where they had the energy spill again for the next month where they was talking about taking people food stamps. Like it worked a little bit, but it didn't work as much. But they still got people in the uproar, right? And they got them so riled up to where just this past weekend, two National Guards got killed. Uh, a boat in Venezuela got struck by the United States and it killed two innocent people. A lot of this stuff going on that they won't tell you about. And also Trump just try to tell them, oh, y'all can't fly planes over there no more. And they like, this is a political abuse of power. You can't come tell us what we're gonna do over here in Venezuela if you guys ain't aware of what's going on over there. But these are all power moves that they use and to keep you distracted, bomb on you, take your energy and try to, move on you. When you're distracted with all of the nonsense going on, you don't have any energy to pay attention to what's finna go on. You don't have any discernment to be aware. So what I was saying was like these things are what people are really amping us up for, where they really want you to be entertained by. This is why certain things go viral and certain things don't, because they need you to be distracted. They need your energy to be focused on chaotic. They need you to be afraid. They need you to be uncertain on your destiny and where you're headed and how you're going to get there, so that you can partake in this nonsense and they can use it to do other things that they want to do as far as keeping power, right? Power isn't bad, it's the way that you use power. And the way that they're using it is not for the best of humanity. And you're gonna see more and more things amp up, especially around Christmas time, right? A lot of people commit suicide around this time of year because of the fear of not having enough, the fear of not being loved, feeling inadequate, not having family, and whatever, right? All of these things that goes on. But I'm here to encourage you and to tell you that mindset is important. Success is 90% mindset. If you can keep your mind guarded from all of the nonsense, you'll be all right. And the other 10% of success is applying yourself. That's just one job, to keep your mind guarded and focus on what you need to be focused on, despite the distractions, despite all of the things that's counterintuitive to what you know to be true. You might fail your first try, you might fail your second and third, but those thoughts telling you you're not going to make it, you need to change those thoughts with something different and positive. But not only that, you need to be actively working on it. You can sit here and be hopeful. You could be the most positive minded person, but if your ass ain't active and working and making the changes, that's all you'll ever be, is just a positive person with nice thoughts who don't manifest anything. And then, therefore, after a while, that positivity will drain because it's something that you believe in, right? It's not something that you know. I know positivity don't last long if you're not actively, continuously guarding your mind and taking actions to be grateful for more things, so more things can continuously come your way. My mind stay focused on the things that I have and the things that I desire. When things come counteractive with what I desire and what I know, I block those thoughts. I rebuke them thoughts. And I spend time grounding myself and reminding myself that my self talk is more important than the self doubt. The thoughts that aren't even my thoughts, probably a hater who's watching and who know that I'm bound to be something. They see my potential, so they want to be throwing their thoughts to me. Like it's a conscious collective mind. If I'm sitting here thinking like I don't like this person, they're gonna feel some way about themselves, whether I'm telling them or not. And therefore I'm sending out energy and vibrations for this person to start to doubt themselves. And that is so true. That's why you have to guard your mind. People you know or people you don't know, they could be sending bad energy your way. The tongue is powerful. Like, oh, I wish this person to fall off. I wish this person whatever, right? Your hopes and your dreams and your wishes are true. But at the same time, you got to be mindful and be aware of what you're thinking about. Are these thoughts helpful to me? Don't be sitting around in anger all day long either. Like, that's a waste of energy. People piss me off constantly, but fuck 'em. That's a moment where you're lost and I'm going to continually be found and know who I am, right? Despite that moment. Misery loves company. People be mad. They'll be mad all fucking day. Like, kill your ass on somewhere if that's what it is. Go ahead, do that. To each his own, right? You have the power to choose on what you want to put your energy into. You could be happy all damn day too. And people don't like that. Like, kill your happy ass on. People don't like me when I'm happy, but fuck. That's something they got to deal with. I'm not gonna be unhappy because a motherfucker don't like it. And it is what it is. I don't care who get mad, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. You mad, I'm happy, fuck you. Yeah, no apologies either. Kiss my ass. Anybody who don't want to see me happy. I'm nice, but don't get it messed up. I can be nice because I choose to. And I could be mean if I want to. It's my choice. But I choose to engage in positive things, because I like to experience positive things. And for people the total opposite, I'm not available for you. Yes, I can help you, but if when I'm giving wise counsel, you say, all right, whatever, I'm gonna go test the waters. Don't come your ass back to me asking for no free counsel. I'm a private personal consultant and I do this shit because I love it. But I'm not finna be giving my energy, my resources, my time away to a person who's not gonna use this information and better themselves. I'm not gonna waste my time because you're lost. You wanna waste your time. You got time to be fucking around. I don't give relationship advice because go do what you wanna do. I advise you to have a relationship with Christ. Hey, I'm not in the middle of that. You can't figure it out. It's not for you anyway. So that's the power of discernment, the power of discipline. Some people just out here chasing desires all day long. And once they get those desires fulfilled, they're on to the next, right? These spirits are using them to drift, just like a drug addict. They want that next high, they want that next drink, they want that next pleasure moment until that pleasure is gone and they back chasing it again. These are spirits that does this. Spirit that gets high for eternity. Spirit that gets drunk for eternity. A spirit that lies for eternity. They do this shit. That's what they do. Millions and millions of years is what they're going to continuously do because this is what keeps them who they are. This is what feeds them, right? And whatever demonic spirits that they're feeding, they need your energy to help feed them. Just like I was telling you about, I used to run a church with my dad. I opened up services for him. I'm not a minister or anything, but more so like a deacon. And what we do is we provoke the Holy Spirit to come and to be used to help people find the light, right? We gather up this energy. That's why I was like, yo, I need to figure out a way where everybody can participate so that all of our energy could be in union and that this thing can truly happen, right? It's no different with anything and everything else. Whether I'm provoking a unholy spirit, I need to do it the way that it's supposed to be done. If this spirit says you need to get niggas scared, and then I'm gonna come do whatever I'm gonna do so that you could be happy, right? That's what you gotta do. This stuff might go over some people's mind. It might sound crazy, but hey, I promise you, I ain't telling no lie. But be equipped. Um, love on yourself this year. Give love to yourself before you give anything to anybody else. Give yourself what you deserve, which is your self care, your self love, your time and attention, your devotion. And with that being said, everything else will work itself out. Everything else will flow naturally. You won't have to worry about this, and that because you're happy. Happiness matters, and I'm here to tell you that you matter, and your emotions matter, the way that you feel matter. But don't allow these things to dictate who you become and what you are. You're unhappy at the moment. You're just not an unhappy person. That's just what you're experiencing at the moment. You recognize the root of this, check it at the door, and make sure that it's something that you can handle the next time around. Whatever it was that provoked that emotion, right? Don't run from yourself. This is basically what I'm saying overall. Question everything. Somebody telling you something that sounds nice. Okay, that sounds nice, but you question that. You don't just go believe in anything and everything everybody's saying because this is what the crowd is following behind. I got into it with somebody yesterday about celebrities. They talk about, oh, you hating because they got it. I want to see people happy, especially people of my color. I know what we struggle with here in America, but I don't want to see my people lose their soul to gain material things, right? I look at my people as foolish for that. I can't save the world. The world has to save themselves, but I can water those seeds that I plant or that someone else plants so someone can be able to grow and have roots and have a solid foundation and they won't lose their faith for the withery world that's constantly, trying to uproot you, trying to hold on, trying to steal your faith, right? Trying to unground you. A lot of people unground themselves because they're not solid with what they know and they want to go run and share everything that they think they know. They share it with the wrong person. This person puts doubt in their heart. Now they don't have any solid ground to stand on. Whatever they just was trying to plant and grow is now uprooted. So that's what I mean by having your own relationship with whatever God you decide to know, because people's opinions, people's belief can basically uproot you and yours, and therefore you'll be unconnected to the true source. when Jesus was going through his trials and errors, his suffering, he cried out to the one that he knows. He said, he said, Father, please take this away from me. I'm afraid to die just like everybody else is. And he sat there suffering. He was like, you know, just like a man, a scared man at that. That just goes to show that this wasn't an easy mission, even for the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the Almighty. He came down here and he experienced exactly what we experienced. That's why he cares for us so much, because he knows what we're up against. He knows the power of this world, the son of the morning, Lucifer, right? And what's crazy about that is, like, you would think God was this popular. Jesus was this popular person, pretty, beautiful, all this and that, right? But it goes to show it was the total opposite. He was an undesirable man. You would look at him and be like, you wouldn't even know it was him, because he's a regular person who's spitting knowledge that people don't like, who thinks differently. Being holy means being set apart. It doesn't mean you're flawless, having flawless victories. No, it just means that you're set apart from the world. The world tells you revenge is nice and you say it's not. The world tells you to, do certain things and you say no. That's the power to be different. That's all that Jesus was different. People didn't like, especially the way that he looked. You will never know, like, this was an undesirable man. But vice versa, the devil, he has all of the best songs. He's bright. He's an imitation of the light world above, And he creates all day, every day. He creates a life for you that you think is going to be good until you realize, like, damn, I've been tricked. Or you be like, I'm down. But I'm going to end this right here and right now. Peace and blessings from Team Angie. I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you're new to my YouTube, all I ask is for you guys to subscribe to help me with my mission, and you won't regret it. Bench watch some of my videos. I have plenty for you guys to check out, all inspirational, motivational, and educational purposes as well. But happy December. May this be an empowering month. May you guys leave this year highly blessed and highly favored, walking into new opportunities, and also peace of mind, because peace is hard to find. It's hard to keep. That's why they say rest in peace when you're dead, because they know peace is hard to experience from time to time. I'm working on a video. All right, we done. Yeah. Encourage you all to love on yourself this holiday season before you drain yourself trying to please the world. Please yourself first. Peace and blessings from Team Angie.